Wherever you are right now. Welcome to this webinar session about fontys Industrial Engineering and Management. Thank you for joining this session on this morning, Saturday in the weekend. We thank you for investing your time to hear our story and to get informed about the program. So in that case, I would love to go to the next slide. We will have a brief introduction of ourselves later on within a few minutes. But in this case, we had the physical open day, of course, scheduled for today, but due to Corona implications, we had to switch it to an online module.
No matter where you go or where you are, there's always an industrial engineer involved in everything.
You are being trained here to become a manager in a technical company, and that company can be anything, like for example hospitals, production company, manufacturing company. We have technical subjects like for example production technology, drawing skills, we have math, physics, and also we have business economics, management and organization.
We're an international course. You get to work with so many people that are from different backgrounds, cultures. They have different mentalities, beliefs. It really makes you open-minded, more patient, and definitely much more educated.
The main part that I like about INM is we have a lot of company visits. It's more practical.
My favorite project was definitely Project 3. Yeah, you have to revive a bike factory that is really close to bankruptcy. And you have to draw a 3D bike as the new prospect product for the company that you're reviving. Yeah, the atmosphere at Fontys is we have a new building. It's amazing, state of the art. To begin with, it really gives you that academic, professional, high scope feeling that you're really looking for when you're going from high school to university, of course. So everyone's really friendly. Everyone is here and open to learn. And the teachers are excellent. They're always open to help. They're friendly. Well, it fits me because I'm a person that is always looking for a challenge. And it really makes you approach things the way people won't approach them ever, because you always try to find solutions from different angles.
So here you had some first impressions of our current students who are actually studying the program IENM in Eindhoven. We will give you more details about the setup of the program later on this presentation. First of all, a brief introduction. My name is Mohammed Shanouf. I'm actually lecturing at Fontys INM in the fields of business economics and accounting. And I'm also involved in the INM intake process. I'm actually also doing all the interviews with new potentials who express their interest to join our community. And before, I was also working in the professional business life for a company selling specially all kinds of technical devices in the Middle East market. And before that, I was also joining an accounting firm in the area of Eindhoven, where I was working as a junior accountant. But right now, since 15 years already, I've been joining Fontys as teacher, but also as a mentor.
And my name is Latif Sheikh Shote. I'm now working at Fontys for 5 years. And before that, I was working as a teacher at Summer College. And in those two educational institutes, I teach business economics. And I worked in the professional business as an application manager at the paper factory in Roermond. And I started my working career as a technical mentor at Sykes Enterprises. That is a call center concern.
Yeah. Well, this slide is actually highlighting the fact that we are welcoming students from all different angles of the world. So we tried to capture the most popular names regarding hello to you in the country of language, which is actually based on the most interesting countries for our students. So I will also highlight it later on the presentation, but roughly we receive students and we welcome them from 20 different countries in the world, varying from Latin America to Asia to Africa to Eastern Europe. So in that case, we have a big reach regarding our scope and also the origin of students. So maybe also your own name is selected over here and highlighted to say welcome to you for joining this session and hopefully also being part of the future INM community. What about the agenda and the outlook for this presentation? We have roughly 1 hour for this presentation session, and we would like to update you about a number of predefined subjects. First of all, what about living in the Netherlands? Because for most of you, Holland is a new country and you're considering to move over here for studying the program. What about the combination between studying and working in Eindhoven? Some general information about Fontys as University of Applied Sciences, and then we will highlight some more details about the setup of the INM program, which you are joining right now. What about career perspectives after finalizing the program, and also some practical matters regarding the program itself here in Eindhoven. That will be roughly the subjects that we would like to cover in this time slot for 1 hour. And what you see over there is the Blob, one of the most impressive buildings in city center Eindhoven. This also expresses a lot of technological skills that our designers have. So we are focusing highly on techniques and technology. That's actually a second picture of another building, which is the Evo Lyon. It's one of the biggest conference centers in Eindhoven and also one of the highlights of the city. And here, this building is actually also used by educational institutions, by universities, but also by private companies and big size companies who are also working on a global level to have meetings with customers, with employees, with investors, but also students, for instance, are joining this center for graduation sessions and also for finalizing company assignments. So this is a very interesting, nice company building, also based on high technological skills, which is actually famous in the area and surrounding of Eindhoven.
Okay. I need to share again. Because I have some issues on the audio setup.
Take your time, Latif.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so we can continue, hopefully. And the slides will move on to the next one.
I heard about a lot of cheese, a lot of bikes, a lot of cows, weather, Netherlands being small. My name is Anya. I'm coming from Russia and now I'm studying aerospace engineering in the Netherlands. I think at the beginning for me it was quite strange that people use bikes every time, but now I really enjoy it.
My name is Iris Caballero. I'm from Mexico. I'm studying physics and I came 1 semester. I've been in many places in Holland and it was all by train and it was really fast and easy. Where I'm living is a student house. It's fun and you can also know other cultures, habits, practice tolerance and be open-minded. That's really good and really enriching. Some advice for future students would be not be shy when they get here. Try to ask whatever doubt they have. Learn some important words in Dutch.
The Dutch language sounded very ununderstandable at the beginning and all the sounds, but now it's actually not so bad. I mean, it's doable.
In every place, everyone can speak English. Dutch people can speak really good English. When we go out from the pub, then we're always hungry, so we go to the snack bowls, and then we just eat whatever it is there. Frikandel, hamburgers, croquettes. The weather is so different. Here I got my first snow ever, and I just went out.
From the first time, I really felt like a home here because of all these factors came together. It's good education, friendly people, and English. It's a very comfortable place.
So these students actually highlighted what their impressions is about studying in the Netherlands and also in the direct environment of Eindhoven, what they like and what type of habits they are actually also facing here, and what about the language, etc. So that's also important information for your own orientation to consider Holland and Fontys as your study area. On this slide, you see actually the high-tech campus, which is a very important but also impressive and popular technological campus where a lot of companies, technical-based companies, are headquartered. So this campus origins from Philips, and Philips is actually also coming from Eindhoven. The company was founded in Eindhoven, and Philips also developed a number of other companies, and they attracted also other companies to join the campus for engineering and designing future technical products. So hundreds of companies are actually located over there, and they are thinking about the most interesting products for the future. And also our students are joining this center and this campus for interesting internships, company assignments, and graduation sessions. So they are really related to the working field of companies in Eindhoven. Regarding the working field, the area of Eindhoven is also known as Brainport area, and Brainport is also acknowledged to be the Silicon Valley area of Europe, which means that we have a very high level, and we have a very high level of concentration of technical-based companies who are located in the area of Eindhoven and who are all working on a global level. So we have thousands of companies over here, which are also connected to our Fontys University, and we also can exchange projects and students for these companies to work on challenging cases. So we have Brainport Eindhoven, we have the airport in Amsterdam, which is Schiphol, and we also have the seaport in Rotterdam, which is one of the biggest harbors in the world. So we also have a big load of logistical companies who are operating from the Netherlands. And as you can see on this chart, Eindhoven is also closely located to Belgium and also to Germany. So we have a very big inflow of international companies who are working in this area, which is also offering interesting job opportunities for our students. Well, on this slide, we tried to visualize how the campus and how the Brainport area works. So we have a number of big-sized companies who are leading in their industry globally, like ASML, like Philips, like Van der Lande, like DAF, big giant companies with thousands of employees, all within a reach of a few kilometers at Fontys in Eindhoven. But these companies are also collaborating intensively with a number of research universities and also applied sciences universities like Fontys, and also with all kinds of institutions who are helping them to maintain their leading role in the industry and to help them also intensify the collaboration with future potentials and candidates like students. Well, here you see a classification of specific types of companies that we have in the Brainport area. Like I said before, we have thousands of technical-based companies, but we just try to highlight a number of them. So we have OEM suppliers, so companies who are working on very big scales in terms of volumes for big markets like automotive, like pharmaceutical industry, that type of things. We also have transport companies like TomTom and VDL, who are working especially for the automotive sector and for these types of companies. But we also have a number of agricultural companies who are actually making machines, designing machines, but also operate in the food sector and in the agricultural sector, like John Deere, NXP, which is a former Philips company. AB InBev is one of the biggest beer companies on a global level. So we have big giants who are located in Eindhoven, and that's really very interesting for our students also to catch up for future job opportunities. What about the collaboration with our faculty, Fontys Industrial Engineering and Management? We have a very intensive relationship with Brainport companies. Just for your own perspective, on a yearly basis, we perform more than 350 assignments for more than 200 different companies. And this is a very impressive track record, which means that our students are working intensively for companies, and a big portion of the program is also related to company assignments. So that means that actually in a very early stage, you are working on developing your personal and professional skills, how to work for a company, how to analyze problems, how to come up with a set of solutions, and how to please the boss regarding a research question to answer. So on this graph, you see that we are actually collaborating intensively with companies like VDL, like ASML, like Bosch, DAF, UPS, big companies, but also with a lot of co-supplying companies who are working for these big giants companies. So if you are looking for a University of Applied Sciences, which is also related to the working field and the professional field, then INM could be a very serious program to consider. Well, I'm talking about company assignments. I'm talking about the relationship with the Brainport area, which is one of the most technological regions in Europe. But where do our students end up after finalizing the program? Well, of course, a majority of our potentials who become the Bachelor of Science INM potential end up in the Brainport region, and they work for companies like Van der Lande, DAF, ASML, Mars, Philips, Netschroef. Maybe some of these companies you know, maybe they're also operating in your own country of origin. But actually our type of students become managers at these technical companies to help working on all kind of improvements, increasing the quality of the products, lowering the costs, shorten delivery time, increasing the customer satisfaction, all kind of hot topics where our students work for these technical based companies. Very interesting.
Yeah, I just wish to gain experience in companies and eventually just...
1 second again.
Yeah, I just wish to gain experience from working in companies and eventually just finding my own thing to do, maybe start my own business.
So during my study, I will work for at least 4 companies.
Yeah, I like the good balance between studying here at school, doing exams, and also doing company projects that gives like a good balance of experiences so that you don't... First, you don't get bored, but then you also learn a lot of different things.
I see a big advantage. Companies are very attracted to people with experience working in groups and working in other companies.
The Brainport region is really helpful for students in this course, especially because it's a center of most technical companies. If you're going to look in LinkedIn, most internships available are for our roles, our types of courses.
The guidance is really good. You have your mentors who are there to support you, and at the same time, in case you don't find anything, they're going to come with you with leads of companies that want to work with you. As an INM student, you get to work in different departments. You're hired as an employee, but then one day you might be working in improving a manufacturing process because they have a lot of faulties, and then next day you might work with shipping companies because they might lose their packages.
I do like it. It gains experience for what is actually the real world, how you actually use your studies in real companies, which is the most important thing in the end of what you learn.
So these students tried to summarize what their impression is and their experience for working on company assignments for companies, and also about the guidance from our side at INM. As I told you before, guys, a big portion of our program is also related to work for these companies and to develop your own professional skills as a future employee. And now we would like to show you more about Fontys. Well, actually, as you see on the picture, we have a brand new building, which is, I think, right now, Latif, 4 years old. And we joined this building a few years ago. So this building is actually located on the same spot at the campus with the TU Eindhoven, which is the Technical University of Eindhoven, which is a research university. So we have a very close collaboration on the same campus with 2 different universities and also a set of companies who are operating from this area. If we go more into details about Fontys, Fontys is actually one of the largest universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands. We are mainly located in the southern part of the Netherlands. We have over 44,000 students and we have more than 3,400 employees. So that also gives you an impression about the volume of the university. We have a very big product range regarding our programs, more than 100 bachelor programs offered in Dutch. But we also have international programs, more than 25 bachelor programs in English and also in German, because we are located very close to the German border. And Germany is also the biggest economy in Europe. So we also have a number of German students in our community. And like we mentioned in the previous slides, we have a very strong interaction with the Brainport region companies. As I mentioned, we just entered our new building a few years ago, which is the Nexus building in Eindhoven. As you can see on the picture, it's really a state-of-the-art building, very close to the city center, very close to the railway station. So the connection for students to reach us is really very ideal. And we are located on the 4th floor of the building, together with some other programs offered at Fontys. One of the key questions about this webinar session is actually, what is IENM? So if you select a course like automotive, it's really very straightforward that you're working in the car industry. But in this case, IENM is actually focusing on how to improve technical processes at manufacturing companies. So we are focusing on processes where technical activities are taking place, where students can analyze these activities to improve them in the future. So our potentials are actually mainly focusing on purchasing processes, how to improve the production process, which is also called the supply chain process, because there you add value to technical products. For instance, you buy components, you assemble these components, and you have a finished product. But also the warehouse and the logistical process, we call it here sales, is very important, because also the lead time to the customer and the delivery time to the customer and the quality of the outgoing products is very important to monitor. And that's also one of the pillars at IENM. So we are focusing mainly on purchasing, production, and sales improvements. The key question for this webinar session for you guys is, does this program fit my interest? So what do you think what IENM could be? And what does an industrial engineer do? So actually our type of students become a manager of a technical based company, and they are really experts in cohesion. So that's really the main setting of our potentials in working life. So we have the IENM program, which we are highlighting right now, but what about your position? Based on this information, do you think that you can join our community? And is this program also making sense to your level of interest regarding the choice for a bachelor program? So some key questions in this case are, do you want to work in business? Do you think about how things can be better organized? And do you find technical process interesting? If the answer on these predefined questions is yes, then the I&M program could be on your list as an interesting options. So we try to spark your curiosity with all the information that we are sending out right now in this webinar session. And if that relates to some yeses on these questions, then the program could be a serious option. Yes, the I&M program is not that old. We only started the program in September 2014, so roughly 7 years. It's fully taught in English, and we actually welcome students from all over the world. But this program is an equivalent of the Dutch program Technische Bedrijfskunde. And Technische Bedrijfskunde is actually offered more than 40 years. It already has a proven track record, and we have long-based relationships with companies and other stakeholders. But the big companies in the region of Eindhoven in the Brainport area actually challenged us with a question 7 years ago. Well, you have a very nice Dutch local program, but there is a very big need for technical people in the future. Why don't you offer this program in English to welcome also internationals to this area of Europe? So that was actually the main reason to establish the I&M program as an English equivalent of the Dutch program Technische Bedrijfskunde. And right now we are actually in the 7th year in our operation, and we showed some nice challenging pluses over the last years. So that's actually the background of the existence of I&M. What about the staff? We have a teaching staff, which consists a great mix of personalities, and different professors also hold wide varieties of business experiences. They actually all have been working or still work in business life for companies and joined us at Fontys I&M. And of course, we also need supporting staff who is actually helping the students with all the administrative issues and the formal process of intake and enrollments. So that's actually a very well-organized staff in relationship to our teaching people. What can you expect from us? So what's actually the deliverables that you can expect if you join our community? You can start the I&M program at 2 different moments. You can start it in September, but also in February. We try to simulate like we are actually working for companies and like you are one of the employees of these companies in the Brainport area. So we work in groups. Companies work in departments, we work in groups, which is actually comparable with a department structure. So you have 5-6 people working for a group, and you have a coach who's monitoring the progress and who's helping you also with the assignments. You also have some individual projects like the internship, the minor, and the graduation project, and there you have a one-to-one relationship with the coach. You are doing and performing a lot of assignments for companies, but at the same time, you also need to attend traditional classes with all kinds of topics which you need as theoretical input to help these companies in a very structured way. And these classes also have exams where you need to pass for. And you also have workshops and company assignments and company visits. So it's quite a busy program where you are actually focusing on classes, but also mainly on company assignments with real managers that you need to help with some questions and issues they are facing. Some key notes. Actually, 80% of our first year students is able to finalize the first year on time, which is a very high ratio and also a very good performance from our side, which means that if our students proceed to the next year, they don't have any open exams from year number 1. So they have a very clean sheet in that case. At the other side, we are welcoming students from roughly 20 different countries. So we have a very high mix of cultures at our company, at our program, varying from students from Latin America, from Asia, from Africa, from East Europe, and also from Russia, Russian areas. So in that case, it's a great mix of nationalities, which will also boost your personal development. If you are a very excellent student, you can earn up to 2 scholarships, which means that you will get a typical type of refund on your tuition fees. So in that case, you can earn 2 scholarships if you have very impressive grades, where we can compensate you financially. And last but not least, also very important, 90% of our students who finalize the program are able to find a job within 2 months. So also, although we are facing Corona right now, we have very excellent operating companies who are actually always looking for new technical talents and students who can work for these companies. So we have a lot of times that students during their internship and graduation, the company's asking, are you interested to work for our company after finalizing I&M? So in that case, the students are quite popular. There is a big need and demand for technical-based potentials and students in the region for helping these technical companies. And that also means that companies are really willing to pay on a very good level regarding salaries. So our students have the highest starting salaries in the Netherlands. It's not really only a statement from our side, but it's also acknowledged in newspapers and also in very representative research which is done recently. So the forecast is quite good, although we are living in a very difficult time frame right now. The philosophy of the program is actually based on a principle called MOTE, and MOTE stands for every type of project which you are doing for a company needs to be approached in a way that you take the mankind, the people, the organization, the technology and the economics into consideration for helping the company. Which means if you propose some new solutions to work more efficient, to work better in a cheaper way, faster, and to help the company's customers, you need also to convince the people and to have backup of these people to respect your solutions. So that principle needs to be included. Organization means how could you change or improve the organizational setting within a company to achieve a higher performance. Technology means should the company work in another way regarding the use of materials and also in their flow of technical processes to help a company in a better way for serving the customer. And economics means if you propose some solutions and you want to change the company in a specific way on a predefined research, you also need to find out whether all these solutions make sense regarding economic principles. Are these solutions adding value to the company, and are you able to create some additional profit for their profit and loss account? So these 4 pillars are really important to consider and to include in the framework when you are working for company assignments. So the fields of studies are also related to this framework of MOTE, and you see some points of interests on this framework that actually is part of the game. So we try our students to help them applying a theoretical approach by using methods and tools and techniques to analyze business processes and to measure performances, etc. You're working constantly on competences and to improve your personal and professional skills. And one of the main objectives of this program is to solve problems for a company systematically based on a theoretical framework by analyzing processes and company problems in a very proper way. You also need to focus on change management, which is actually meaning how could we change the process and the culture of the company to increase the performance of the company. And actually everything is about working together, collaborating with other employees and departments to have a very good alignment on the future direction of the company. So culture is also very important as a leading indicator. So there we see some fields of industries which we mentioned. Yeah, this slide might be a little bit boring, but it's really important to note that you know what you can expect from us. So you will be trained to become an all-round expert in business engineering. And what I said before, our students are actually becoming managers of technical-based companies in the Brainport region. And then we have a very long line, but it's actually standing and representing the correct information. Together with teachers, students, and companies, you will discover what you need to know and need to be able to do to gain a deep understanding of the people, the organization, the technical know-how, and also the economic principles on which companies depends. And this line is also explained in the previous slides with the motive principle, which our students are using as a framework. What about the visual setup of the program? All the programs at University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands have a duration of 4 years, which means 3.5 years of the program is a major, which means this part of the program is predefined regarding company assignments and also projects and courses. And half a year you have your own choice to focus on a topic or a subject of your own interest, which is called the minor. The program is offered in Dutch, but also in English, and we are focusing on the international version right now. Well, about the education, approximately 14 hours project work per week, but the remaining time is actually spent on contact hours for lessons, workshops, preparations for company assignments, and also for preparing for the exams. So if we take a look to the breakdown of the 4 years, in the first year you just joined our I&M program, so you don't have any experience to help a company in a direct way. So the first year is taking place at Fontys on site at the university to bring you on the starting level for becoming an I&M professional. So you have 4 different projects focusing on a specific product, on a market, on improving a process, and on changing a company process or culture. And based on this first year program, we serve you a lot of skills, and you also need to examine for topics and subjects positively. You need to pass for them to go to the second year. And from the second year onwards, you have only projects for real life companies. So year number 2, 3, and 4 are taking place at real life companies. For instance, the second year, the first half, you're focusing on improving a company process for a technical based company. The second half of the second year, you're focusing on the voice of the customer. So how to improve the customer performance within a company. Then in the third year, you have the minor and the internship program, which both have a duration of 5 months. And then in the fourth year, you have a group assignment regarding exploring strategy, companies who want to go abroad or who want to redefine their strategy on a global level. And then finally, you will do the graduation project on your own, like the internship in the third year. Both projects are done individually to finalize the program. So roughly 60% of the program is related to real companies with real questions and problems where you can help them. And this means that from the second year onwards, you're also collecting information and you're working on your CV and networking activities to get in touch with companies and company employees. Yeah, where maybe you can also have some chats about future careers. So that's a very interesting setup of the program, where you're also interacting actively with these companies. We are the largest and the oldest I&M program in the Netherlands, based on the previous slide. So maybe you can go back to that one, Latif. Yeah. We are working actively in groups of 5-6 people, like companies are organized in departments. And 80% of our students pass the first year successfully to proceed with the second and the third year onwards. I told you something about the minor, where you have the selection to select a program for 5 months, which also catches your interest. So we have 2 different choices. You can go in depth with a program, so that you say, well, I had a topic at the I&M program, but I want to know more about it. Then you have an in-depth minor, but you also can broaden your horizon by selecting a new topic, which is actually also very interesting for your own personal career, but was not included in the I&M program. We have our own minor program, which is called OPEX, which stands for Operational Excellence. And this is one of our own in-depth minors. And this OPEX minor is focusing on how to create additional value for a company and how to reduce waste, how to improve the quality of the products of a company, and how to actually focus on resources to increase the performance of the company for the customer satisfaction. So this minor program is actually focusing intensively on the supply chain area of a technical based company and how to influence a number of critical drivers positively to help them working more efficiently and to add more profit to the company's balance sheet. The internship. The internship can take place in the Netherlands, but can also take place outside the Netherlands. And we have a number of students who are actually selecting an international program on a yearly basis, like Karel Jennis. He's from the Czech Republic, and he joined a company in Suriname to complete his internship. So for us, it doesn't make any sense whether you do the internship in the Netherlands or outside the Netherlands, as long as the assignment is actually meeting our requirements. So the company needs to be big enough, and you should be able to focus on a very interesting managerial business case. And we also actually trigger our students to do one of the projects internationally because the world is flat and a lot of companies are actually also focusing for technical based students. So that could be a very nice option, maybe to do it in your own country of origin, but you can also select another country to complete the internship.
Okay, Mohammed explained that you can start either in September or in February. And if you start in February, then you follow a slightly different sequence than the students who start in September. So if you start in February, then you will do the projects of Q3 and Q4 together with the students that started in September this study year. And the next year, then as a February student, you will do your project 1 and 2. That you will do together with the students who start the program at that moment in September.
Yeah. How would a regular day at our university look like? You have different types of activities, and maybe in the morning when you enter the INM building, the Nexus building, first of all, you have a lecture about a specific topic or a specific subject with all your classmates, so maybe with 80 or 40 or 50 people. From there on, you're going to work on the project assignment, the group assignment for a company. In the first year, you have some other projects to work on, again, with your teammates. And then after that project group work, you're going to attend a workshop to focus on some specific skills that you need to master for completing the project successfully. And after these workshops and the group work and the lecture, you also need to study for yourself to prepare yourself finally on the final exams. So in that case, there are plenty of different activities that you can work on. And also you need to focus on visiting companies. So you need to schedule meetings with these companies when they have time to perform all kind of analysis, to interview people and to collect data for your assignment. So it's actually working on the campus, working off the campus, working at home, working at company places, which is a very interesting way and structure to fulfill the INM program in 4 years. As you are seeking for a matching program for yourself, we also asked our existing students why they choose the INM program. Well, guys, maybe not that surprising, but a lot of students really have difficulties to find the right program because they don't know what to do. So a lot of students who are actually joining our program, they were looking for a broad management study with a view to a good job and good salary. Well, in that case, I already gave you some information about 90% of our students find jobs within 2 months. And I&M students are the best paid University of Applied Sciences students in the Netherlands. So that's actually quite interesting. But our students also enjoy working with others, so group work, and they are also practical because they like to focus on technique and what companies are making, which types of products, how to improve them. So they like to take initiatives. And our students also like to focus on technology, but not only on technology. So they also like to work on managerial skills, on economic skills, how to organize it betterly within a company, which is actually making physical technical products. So they want to combine technology with other items in a very practical way. And our practical way means that from the second year onwards, you're working actively with companies to work on your future career. So that's quite interesting if you're looking for such type of a program. Okay, this is again Andres, one of our students from Latin America, right?
Latin America, yes.
Yeah, so right now he's in the second year of the program?
Third year.
Third year of the program, so he's also focusing on the internship and the minors. And what he thinks about the program is it's a very broad technical study, so you learn a lot of technical principles. And from the second year onwards, you're applying theory immediately in practice because you have to help a company on a real life research question. You're working on your personal skills and you're actually working for medium and big sized companies. We have a lot of them in the Brainport area, like I mentioned before. The relationship between different company processes to interfere in between is very important. And you are actually learning to think in a very analytical way and in a different way to help companies with serious problems or challenges. You're working together in project groups and you help real companies with real assignments. So you are developing yourself to a multidisciplinary expert. So these things, these bullets are actually summarizing the profile of an I&M student and also a potential. What about mentoring at I&M? You have two different mentors at the program. You have a private mentor who's helping and coaching you from the first year up to the fourth year, and he stays the same. And you have a group mentor, which is depending on the different group work at I&M. So every different project, you have another group mentor. And for the first quarter, if you join our program, the mentor, the private mentor, will also be a group mentor. So that's important to know about mentoring, but we're always there to help you with issues and with questions. Well, in this case, we are going to the final block of this presentation. So what about finalizing the program and what is the added value for you in professional life? After graduation, if you go to the next slide, you will receive the Bachelor of Science certificate in Industrial Engineering and Management, which is a very valuable diploma. Like I said, companies are seeking for technical talents, people who are actually also graduated from technical programs, and they really want to welcome them for picking a role or a job offer. So the Bachelor of Science will be granted, and at our program, you actually learned a few blocks. You collected a lot of theoretical information based on the courses, so you actually increased your level of knowledge. This knowledge is applied to projects for helping companies on their problems and issues and challenges they are facing. And based on the course information which you applied on projects for companies, you worked on 8 different competences to improve your professional skills. Analyzing, solutions, communication, that type of skills are actually professionalized over a duration of 4 years. And that means that you had a very nice, perfect match between these pillars. What could you become? You can actually, you are educated and trained in a very broad range. So you can work for OEM companies, You can work for an international company with a local site in the Brainport region. You can work for actually a company with a headquarter in the Netherlands who also has branch offices internationally. And for these types of companies, you can focus on different roles which have your interest. Maybe you like to be involved in the purchasing process and to deal with suppliers. Maybe you like to become a production manager, in this case a supply chain manager, who is involved in optimizing the production process. So how to shorten the production time, how to increase the lead time, how to increase the quality of the products and to reduce costs in the production area. Maybe you like to be more involved in the sales project with companies who are actually in your network. And maybe you like more the logistical side of the company, how to ship products from A to B in a very fast way. So the I&M program is actually training you in such a broad way that you can accept different job titles based on your own level of industry. And this is actually quite interesting because right now you don't know what you can expect, but you can prepare yourself for a different role that you can pick up after 4 years. As you are trained in a very broad way, you also master and hold information about different topics. So you will be a very busy professional. So in that case, you really can make the impact for a company. So some cases, you can deal with customers, you can deal with internal technical experts. You can be involved in buying new materials with suppliers or components. You can focus on how to improve the output, so how to produce more products for selling to the market, how to speed up deliveries, how to plan new products for the future, how to outsource activities if you think, well, maybe we can also assemble and produce our products in another country, which is more cheap and which also increase the profitability of our company. How to open new sites if you think about expanding your activities, decreasing costs and increasing profits. So hiring people, a lot of things that could be on your desk for thinking about and for analyzing for your company in order to improve the overall performance. So it's a very challenging program and you can actually catch up with very interesting activities for companies to work on. So no single day should be the same. At our site, you are actually completing the bachelor program. If you think, well, I'm still a very young girl or guy, I want to do my master, then we have plenty of opportunities. As I told you before, we are actually headquartered on the same campus like the Technische Universiteit Eindhoven, TUE. And this TUE also offers a number of programs which catches the interest of our students. For instance, we have a program called Operations Management and Logistics at TU Eindhoven. It's really 300 meters from our building, so you can just cross the road and then you're at the other university. A number of students are focusing on innovation management, also a master program, but we also designed and offered our own program at Fontys, which is the Master of Science in International Logistics, Procurement and Supply Chain Management, which is offered in Venlo. And this Venlo program is only 40 kilometers away from Eindhoven, so on a short distance, very close to the German border, just a few kilometers. And if you have some intentions to do the master, you can also do it at another university in the Netherlands or outside the Netherlands, but we just pre-selected a number of popular master programs selected by our students. Approximately 40% of our students are not working directly after the bachelor, but they are first of all focusing on completing a master program. 40%. And in this case, guys, we just want to prepare you for the future. So we have a very interesting quote, which you see over there, but the collective goal of our program is to help moving you forward. I think that's it. And this is one of the final slides of the presentation. So hopefully we give you some interesting, valuable information to consider this program maybe to be your future program. We will be more than happy to welcome you in Eindhoven. So maybe you can become a freshman at I&M and try to see whether the content of this presentation file meets your interest so that you can make up your mind in a very good way and to select the proper program, which is actually also meeting your interest. I think that's it for right now. We also have some practical matters regarding communication. We have an email account, guys. If you have some remaining questions, you can send out your questions to the email account iem@fontys.nl. Of course, you can also find a lot of practical information on the website, which is fontys.edu/iem. And if you think, well, I just want to say hello to the program and I would like to have a face-to-face meeting, you can always reach out to us by these contact details to have a Skype meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting. You can also reach out to one of our students, one of our international students. We have Dinda from Indonesia and we have Valerina from Bulgaria. You see their cell phones over there, and you can also send them a WhatsApp or call them via WhatsApp to have some more details about the program. Right now, this presentation file is done by us, but you can also reach out to the students.
And we have also students among us right now. So
also,
yeah, we have Paul Taralunga.
Hey, everybody.
Joined us.
Yep.
Good to have you here, Paul. Huh? Yeah, there
Anytime.
he is. In which year are you currently studying, Paul?
Right now, I'm currently in my third year. I'm doing my minor. I'm doing my minor in entrepreneurial technology and communication. Until right now, I can say that I was not pleased, but very satisfied with what we did until right now for the last 2 to 3 years. It was a very challenging experience to join the INM program 3 years ago. And it helped us develop over time from so many points of view, from technical points of view, but also from communication points of view and our careers in general. It helped us a lot, how we organized in groups and how we learned to talk to each other and work with each other from so many parts of this world. It was a very interesting experience.
Paul, can you tell something about your experience with the project that you did for the real life companies?
Yes, of course. We worked until right now. I think I worked personally with about 6 companies. 4 of them we worked very closely and for longer periods, like more than 3 months. I can say that the persons that we worked inside the companies were more than helpful. They provided a lot of insights and they taught us how to work and do the tasks that we were needed to do. To be honest, working with companies in the Netherlands was amazing because all the departments are organized accordingly, and people, when you need to find somebody that needs to help you, you will find it instantly. Everybody's very open, everybody's very lucid, and it's going flawless every time companies in Netherlands work like this. But also in the international domain, because we worked with the companies internationally, we can say that our experience from studying in Netherlands helped us be professionally maybe better for companies abroad as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for the input and your actually also your impression about the INM program and how it is boosting also your personal development in this case. Actually, Latif, we have some members in the room who are actually visiting the webinar session, some potentials, right?
Yes.
So if they have questions, they can also use the chat box or open the mic
open the mic. I think it's not possible with this live event.
Okay. But the chat box can be used. Yeah. No incoming questions right now?
No, not what I see.
Well, hopefully the presentation was very clear.
Okay, maybe Paul, maybe we still have 1 or 2 minutes left. Maybe you want to talk about a little bit about how the different courses helped you in working in the companies?
Yes. I can the whole organization of the IM course, like you just find out that we're also doing projects, we're also doing tasks, we're also working, we're having exams, so we need to individually study as well. The whole organization of the program, from my perspective, was very helpful in helping us organize in terms of when you need to do practical work with your group right now, it is very important that you do not focus on other stuff and you're everywhere. It was very nice to see that the courses that we had were very on point, strict on the tasks that we had, and therefore when we were coming together to work as groups, we didn't have to look over theoretical stuff again. We all knew what we had to do, and we were getting right on track. The most important part, I think, for this course is for you to be an open student, because, like I said, we're so many students from all around the world. It's challenging to work all together, and therefore it can be very fun when we're all coming together with our experiences.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, time is finished more or less, Mohammed.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
I think if we don't have any remaining questions, we can also finalize this session. So in that case, guys, we are still checking the inbox. We don't have any questions right now. So we would like to thank you for attending this presentation. Hopefully it was a very valuable presentation, a very clear one, also regarding the information that we send out to you. And of course, we would like to wish you all the best with selecting the most suitable program. And hopefully you will join our community as soon as possible, because that will offer you a lot of options for the nearby future. Of course, Corona, guys, is still playing a role, so we try to act as good as possible. But the program is really matching for the companies, although we are in a very difficult time frame right now. So thank you again, guys. Thank you, Paul, also, Latif, for joining this session, and then hopefully we see you as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, you too, Paul. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.